being on some chill. We go
Number 5.
to 100 real quick, real quick. Whole squad on that real 0 to 100 real quick, real quick, real.
It's Thursday the 20th, and you're listening to the $5 Multi Podcast. You already know it's the number one Uzo cow, aka Lisi, aka You Shall Not Pass, 2020 NRL Fantasy Champion. You already know what it is.
It's a good name.
It's not a bad name, huh?
It's all right.
Today I'm joined by Easy Win. I mean, Easy does it.
Man, I just want to say for anyone that's listening, Galisi came last in our draft comp last year. So, you know, this guy talks a big game about fantasy, but this guy's a bomb.
Last year?
Wow.
Are we talking about last year? We're talking about practice.
Wow. Didn't know that.
Yeah, we'll just ignore that. We'll move on. And then also we've got Nasty Piazzi returning. Pierce, say what up to the people.
So, hope someone's listening.
Oh, mate, there's listeners everywhere. I had a message from some... Nah, I'll stop with that lie. We'll jump straight in then. Probably the highlight for me last week was the NRL 9s. What were your guys' thoughts around the way it was running and some of the results?
I didn't like it. I thought it was kind of trash. Yeah, because a lot of the squads didn't name their top players, and I don't like how there was only 2 pool games before they went into the knockout rounds. Didn't really give teams much of a chance to do anything. Like, for example, you know, the mighty Broncos, we had the closest game with the eventual champions, and then we beat the Storm, but we didn't advance to the knockout stages. How's that fair, man? Come on.
Yeah,
Come on, Todd Greenberg. Do something.
It is a pretty short tournament, but you know, like for me, it was good to be able to see some of the upcoming players. Like, it would have been awesome to have the big stars, but I can understand them sitting this one out to sort of stay ready for the season kickoff. And it was good, like, because we got the draft coming up, and it's all about, in my opinion, it's all about picking the right up and coming players. So it was a good chance to see some of those players that I won't name.
How about that 18-year-old kid from the Cowboys? Yeah, how quick is he, man? Like, some of the tries he pulled off.
He makes the break and then he'll cruise.
Who's he eligible for?
Queensland, born in Cairns. So he's a local product.
Oh, does it matter where you're born?
Oh, here we go.
I thought Origin was just part of, like, there was a sponsor or something.
Look, man, what's the 5'8" from Roosters? Luke Carey. Give him back to us then. You know?
Right.
Before you're born such a big issue, give him back to us. Let him play for Queensland.
Have him if we can go back in time and have Greg Inglis.
Hey, all I know is he went to high school. He last went to high school in Queensland. You know, home is where the heart is.
What were you guys' thoughts on the first 2 games being just droppings, with the Panthers smashing the Roosters 35-0, and then the Warriors hashtag this is our year going down 34-0?
Loved it. I could never not like the Roosters or the Warriors getting hiding. So for both of them to get flogged was, you know, it made up for the Broncos losing to the Cowboys first up.
Other controversial result from the 9s was the Dragons and Panthers game.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys remember the name of that ref? Or was it the TMO?
I think they use video ref.
Oh, was it just the ref?
Just on field.
I was like, oh.
Yeah, well, what do you guys think about that? Just straight on-field decisions. No video ref.
I just saw the memes.
Oh, you didn't see the... Man.
Nah.
Yeah, I reckon, like, fair enough, if they're trying to keep the tournament short, don't use it in the pool games, but when it gets to quarterfinals, because that was a quarterfinal, bring in the TMO, because do they still get like a $1 million prize, or?
I'm not too. I think that's what it was initially. I'm not too sure if that's still the case. That was the initial prize, and the
Yeah.
Cowboys won that as well. So
Mm.
they're actually the first Lions champions.
Yeah.
But I kind of like the idea that they just wanted to, keep a fast pace and just let the refs do their thing on the field.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just tough when it comes to situations like that where it comes down to the very last play and it decides the game.
Yeah. That was probably like because it was like we've got the benefit of replays and stuff. It was such a bad call. Then like in retrospect, you're like, oh shit, maybe we should have the game stopped for a minute or two to sort of check in and get the right result.
Yeah,
And if
maybe
you're,
knockout stages.
you see what you see, but then when you think about it, you replay in your head a couple of times, and then you're like, oh, did I actually see that or not?
Yeah, but yeah, the Cowboys coming away with the result. Tomalolo it looked like he's gone bigger but faster.
Someone at his size shouldn't be able to move the way he does. Like, it's not just speed; it's like his agility and everything. Like, he's got a pretty decent whack on him.
I don't know. I haven't seen him in real life. Have you? Is he?
I think he's just round, but like not that tall.
Oh, but is he like? But he looks pretty thick there, like Zion
Like
Williamson.
he's thick compared to other dudes like his height.
Hey, where's this conversation going, man? You guys doing? I don't know if I want to participate in this, man.
But yeah, it's his form. Makes me want to consider because I've got obviously the number one pick, whether I get Tomalolo or stick with Haas.
I don't know, bro. Check your spreadsheet, see what they say, man.
Yeah, well, that one's we've got the top security firm in the world looking after that spreadsheet. So Ooh.
Hopefully their spreadsheets get you off the wooden spoon, bro. all the best, brother.
0 to 100 real quick.
Nothing but encouragement here, man.
All right, we'll move on to some of the other sporting highlights from the week. The Super Rugby was it round 3? Yeah, round 3 last week. Let me just double check. I think the Crusaders and the Blues, that was the disappointing starts of the week.
Yeah. 25-8 to Crusaders.
Again, Berofeta and Rudu, horrible game. Just can't trust those guys.
A lot of the other boys had big shifts, but just those poor decisions there.
And that's the thing, like, the whole team's not that bad, but when your decision makers are shit in the bed, like they do.
Like 25 looks shit on paper, but if you watch the game, we could have had 25 as well.
And then they brought on Plummer, who scored 3 points. So now I don't want to draw any conclusions of that.
But Plummer he came in and played like I thought Berofeta was bad, and then Plummer even worse.
Yeah, I don't want to keep knocking the guy, but I don't know. I just haven't seen anything from him in the last 2 years that makes me think, oh yeah, like I get it.
Part of me feels like there's a failing in the Auckland system because I'm sure if some of these players had gone to different teams, they'd be better players.
Did you hear that the conspiracy theory from MyFM?
Is that the one where they need the Blues to be shit?
Yeah, that one.
It makes sense, but then that's so fucking stupid at the same time.
Because I didn't hear it.
Oh, so basically it's a conspiracy theory that goes past Auckland Rugby. It goes up to NZRU where they need us to basically be farming all the talent and spreading it out to the other regions to keep them strong. So it makes sense for Auckland to provide the players to keep the other regions strong while we stay shit, rather than us be a powerhouse and everyone else be mud. Hey, it kind of makes sense, man. How much talent have we let go in recent years?
Yeah, but how are we going to farm players when there's less and less interest every year for rugby union in Auckland?
I don't know. I want that to be the reason why. With mud.
All right. Some of the other results from the weekend. The Chiefs played a few of their non-starters or not their they sort of rotated some of their players and still got a massive result against the Sunwolves, who were pretty good in week 1. And then they were doing not too bad.
It was the second half, eh?
Yeah, it was the second half. I think it was at halftime. It was 12-24.
D-Max looked good, eh?
Yeah.
Torn ACL. What do you reckon? Hey, I no hot takes or anything from me, but what do you reckon? Do you reckon he slots into 15 for All Blacks come July?
I reckon after the Rugby World Cup, they'll probably put Burton Barrett back at 10, which I reckon is a big mistake, and then Mackenzie at 15, because that's what they were kind of leaning towards before.
Before he got injured, right?
And then when Burton Barrett's caking it, then they bring on Moonga to actually run a game plan.
He scored a nice try against Blues. But did you see Offa's defensive effort on that one?
Was that the one where he rushed out of the line and spot tackled?
Nah, he was just jogging by Moonga and then he just kind of gave up.
Oh, you mean on that actual try?
Yeah, on the actual try.
No, I didn't even remember that.
I think because they're both All Blacks, he knows he won't catch him.
Yeah, it's true.
So if you know, you wouldn't bother.
And that kind of attitude is what kept the Blues from winning a title for the last 16 odd years.
Well, he doesn't work hard anyway. He's scrummaging.
Yeah.
It was early in the second half. It was only a few minutes into the second half.
He doesn't care much.
But I thought he was tackling all right prior to that, and Tu'unu Kuafe was running it up really well as well. Other than that, the Hurricanes, I actually picked Hurricanes to come last, I think, in the preseason, but they proved me wrong. Got the result again against the Sharks.
Man of the match, Ben Lamb, 2 tries in the second half. Do you hear how he's going French rugby?
Yeah, it's a shame to see him go.
Bordeaux Eagles. Oh, they're middle.
All of the table.
Oh, is that Simi's club?
Yeah.
Simi Raja. Oh, true.
And what's his name? Afa Mosa.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Ah. Well, yeah, because he had that breakout year, was it 2017,
2 years ago?
18?
Yeah, it was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
18.
And yeah, he was on the fringe of All Blacks. I think they just wanted him to be a little bit more consistent, and then he just fell off the face of the earth.
Oh man, he's stuck on bloody. The ball gets stuck in Lomate. That's why.
Well, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, man. What about his try and Lamb's second try? It could have gone either way. Yeah. So, these crossfield kicks, anything could have happened there.
The New Zealand teams, a lot of them are really pushing for those cross kicks now.
Yeah, the kicking game's gone up.
I think it's that when the scrums midfield, opposing wingers always dropping back to help cover the fullback, and then they're just crossing it.
Yeah, that was a good game. Sharks were in there. Their backline's pretty quick.
Yeah, they got their fullback. Yeah.
Rafael Fassi.
Yeah, I don't know how to say his name. I was hoping one of you guys.
My guy.
I really like it. Was it the number 8?
Noshi.
Nah, Venda Win or something. Bro, he was running it 3 dudes on him. Just knocked them all over.
Damn.
Yeah.
I think, this is Kiwi boys, and he's still
Yeah, well, the South Africans, they're massive.
Yeah, they're South African forwards.
And then the next game, bottom of the table New Zealand team beating top of the table Australian team.
That was pretty cool, man. That was clutch.
That was clutch, yeah. The 4 minutes past, or on the 84th minute, getting the winning try, the Highlanders.
Yeah. That was good to see him stick it up, and it was at Brumby's home, right? So
yeah, it was in Canberra.
Yeah, so poor fans.
But that's one of the things that you expect from the New Zealand teams is that a lot of them, they know how to win, and it sort of permeates through to the All Blacks, where if they're down by 5 and it's the 80th minute, you still it's 50-50, the game's not over, they'll find a way to win. And the Brumbies, yeah, I mean, watching the end of that game, I was like, man, I've got a feeling that the Highlanders are going to find a way to win, and what do you know?
Who scored the try?
It was Ben Nicholas.
Yeah, Ben Nicholas. Did you see before that? Before they called the penalty to bring it back, I thought the winger for the Highlanders caked today when he did the chip and chase.
Yeah.
When
Oh.
he went nowhere. Because I didn't realize the ref was playing advantage.
Yeah. He
So
called it.
yeah, I thought it was like he had a big brain explosion or something.
Yeah, because I think it wasn't until the commentator said it that I was like, oh man, like I was wondering what he had.
No, he didn't get the ball much.
Oh. No, so was it? Oh, it wasn't Jonah?
No.
Must have been whoever came on for Tompkinson. I think got yellow carded. But yeah, the Highlanders. I was hoping that they would lose so that they could get Mitch Hunt out and put Josh Ioane in at 10.
Yeah, I don't know how they keep continuing with that.
And now that they got a win, they're probably gonna keep sticking with Ioane as well.
I think Tompkinson with the yellow card. I think I saw in the news that they had graded it a red card after the match, so he's actually on.
He's out.
Yeah, he's on suspension. I think with one of their gun sensors out, they'll probably stick with it.
Going back to the Hurricanes game, did you guys see Dan Cole's tackle towards the end of the game?
Oh,
Yeah.
that was grubby.
Yeah. They're such cheap shots, the Hurricanes.
He's known for that, eh?
He's got a bit of a rep, eh?
Yeah. No, he's dirty, Dane Coles. I don't mind that when he's in the All Blacks because they somehow seem to control him where he's like it's more mongrel, but like when he's playing for the Hurricanes, I don't know if the coach can't control him or whatever, but he just seems like a real prick. And the whole Hurricanes team, like if you watch the Stormers game, they were doing lots of like niggly stuff, like hooks and punches in the rocks, and
I think he just does it so he doesn't have to play much footy.
he's always been like that though.
Yeah.
Or that pent up frustration with the
Well,
aggression, just letting it out on field.
Even when like the All Blacks are winning, like I remember a game where he was like egging on Hooper, and then after the All Blacks got a try, he ran all the way to where Hooper was, which wasn't even near the try, and was like giving it to him.
I don't know what he's going through, but
I think he just likes the psychological part.
Balangi, Justin Hodges.
if it works, man.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's had a fantastic career and
I thought he'd cash out by now.
go overseas.
Yeah,
He's done it.
yeah. It's crazy to see him still here. But good for him, I guess.
Yeah, I guess whatever makes him happy.
Well, come to Auckland, we need a hooker.
Yeah, I'd take any of the two Wellington hookers.
Anyone over Parsons?
Yeah, you guys got no faith in the mighty Parsons?
Nah, man. 100 caps for no reason.
Clark Stewart.
His lineouts are shoddy.
Bro, how many times in his career the ref tells him to hurry up and then we lose the throw penalty? Is he deaf or what? I don't know.
Yeah, he's trash.
At least block it, so it's worth it. Losing the ball, but man.
Yeah, the Blues, the whole spine. Remember I said in the preseason preview, the Blues spine trash. Hookers trash, 9's trash, 10's trash, and the fullbacks average.
So all the important positions, the most important ones.
Yeah, and that's why the team as a whole performed well, but we're not getting good results because our spine is trash.
I'm telling you, it's the curse of Carlos Spencer, man.
I don't rate Duffy like.
I don't think he's bad.
Definitely don't rate him at fullback.
Like when he works hard, he gets injured. If he just stays on the wing and finishes the job, he's all good.
Mm.
Like put him at fullback, oh mate, no chance.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. He was really injury prone when he was playing league at Storm as well. So
Yeah, he was actually.
missed a lot of time.
Hey man, he's done well. He's made the All Black. Got that.
You reckon he'll cash out soon? He seems like the type of player that'll cash out soon.
He might go to the Warriors.
I wouldn't put it past the Warriors. Man.
It's something they'll do.
No, but if he goes overseas, because he's never played for All Blacks, he'll probably make, like, if he goes overseas, he'll probably make, like, a Six Nations team.
Oh yeah, true. Eh?
Who's that?
Duffy.
He's played.
Does he play for New Zealand?
Yeah.
And what?
He played Tri Nations or whatever rugby championship 2 years ago, and against
Oh,
as well.
I didn't even remember that. Yeah, see, that's how not memorable he is. Speaking of memorable, we'll shoot over to the NBA All Star Weekend. What's that sigh for?
Up and down, man. You know why, man. You know why.
Yeah.
Is it the
Sigh,
dunk?
man.
Well, yeah, the dunk club. We'll start with that thing because that was the most
What
controversial.
happened?
Well, actually, I made my wife watch just the highlights last night, and she was convinced that Aaron Gordon was the winner. And then when they showed his final score result, and he got ripped off, she was like, "What the fuck?" I was like, even someone that's not a basketball fan, clearly identified like what a robbery that was.
I watched it the day after.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Man.
The taco dunk fucked it up.
No, but the guy's seven. With his shoes on, he's 7'7".
He's like he's massive. So even though Aaron Gordon kind of clipped the top of his head,
Yeah.
like, he's still, if it was Shaq, because initially he asked Shaq, and
Yep.
Shaq said no, and I think it's because Shaq was doing his product placement for the S20.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Shaq said no. So if he did jump over Shaq, he would have cleared him easy, like without touching him at all. But because he had to go get Taco 4, he clipped his ear, but he still jumped over. If it was someone like that was like 7'4", he wouldn't have touched him.
I reckon you should have got Taco to hold the ball up like as high as he can, and then that way when he jumps over, you can see how high he is, like off the ground,
No,
and then like duck out of the way or whatever.
Yeah.
But because he hit him, it's like
But the thing is that it shouldn't even have gone that far either, because was Derek Jones Jr. was doing the same dunk over and over again, just like when Aaron
Levine.
robbed in 2016.
Yeah, same thing, man. Like 3 dunks in a row. Derek Jones Jr. just went between the legs. He just changed up like his gather. So one was like he jumped over 2 people, although the person in front was like way shorter.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
the side of the backboard one. I reckon he won that one. That was nice.
Yeah, but then I thought Aaron Gordon's side of the backboard was a better dunk. Or was that the one you?
No, DJ did better on that one.
Oh, you reckon? I like Aaron Gordon's.
Yeah, I thought that the one Aaron Gordon's one off the side was. I thought that was the best dunk in the whole comp.
Yeah, same. I reckon that'll be the one that they'll show when they're advertising next year's dunk contest.
It's pretty funny how for that dunk he got Fultz to chuck it at the backboard, and Fultz missed the backboard the first time.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, he missed the first time, so, and then the second time he rimmed it, and then third time he got it.
Yeah, classic faults.
But if you go back to the Taco 4 dunk, did you see when they gave the scores, Scottie Pippen and Common gave Dwayne Wade a dirty look, you went against what we had planned.
Gave a 9A.
Yeah, Dwayne Wade, Scottie Pippen, and Black Panther gave Aaron Gordon a 9 for the Taco 4.
So I don't know what the.
But I think Common was saying that what they had planned to do was for only 2 people to give him a 9, so that it was 48, like the score that Derek Jones Jr. had just gotten. But then they're saying that Dwayne Wade said, I'll give him a 10, and then gave him a 9, which ended up being the losing score.
Well, it's rigged.
Well, yeah, that's what they were saying. They were trying to rig it to be a draw, but then Dwayne Wade double-crossed them and rigged it for his former teammate.
Just caught it how it is.
No, because Pierce is a Miami Heat fan.
Oh, there we go. That explains it all.
I love the Heat. We're doing well, but I still don't like Jimmy Butler.
I'm not a Jimmy Butler fan either. I think he's good, but he's overrated
Yeah, he's
offensively.
not an all-star, man. I wouldn't like a, oh, did you watch Jimmy Butler today? Oh,
Yeah.
Jimmy Butler's playing tomorrow? Nah,
Yeah.
no way. I'll say that about Bam Bam.
No, but I like when Jimmy Butler comes in the news because as a non-Miami Heat fan, I know that if he's in the news, then something shady.
Yeah, there's always drama wherever Jimmy Butler goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's good defensively, but offensively, and like people seeing him as some sort of superstar, I think that's a tad much.
Well, he's getting paid as a superstar, isn't he?
I want the Chicago Bulls Jimmy Butler. He was more aggressive, man.
It looks like his shot is a bit off this season. He gets a lot of his, he gets a lot of his points from the line, so I think he just needs a shot to start dropping.
Did you guys what were you guys' thoughts around the changing of the NBA All-Star with they found a pretty complicated way of explaining it. Like essentially what it is whoever had the most total points after the first 3 quarters, you just add 24 and then that's the target that they're chasing.
Yeah.
But they were like at the end of each quarter you restart again and then there's an aggregate points total.
The third quarter.
Yeah, and then I was like, well, just fucking, it's whoever's got the most points at the end of the third quarter total and then add 24.
Might as well do those Korean basketball league scores.
Which one? I haven't.
5 points for a dunk or some shit.
Oh shit! But I thought it was good because it took away the it took away how everyone just spams the fouls because they're playing by the clock.
Yeah.
Well, at least it wasn't 200 points versus 205.
Yeah. What, the no defense All-Star game?
Yeah. It was so much better this year. I felt it was probably the best All-Star game I've watched probably since Michael Jordan's last All-Star game.
Oh, yo, he went ham.
Yeah. But I just like I agree with you, Lisi. The way that they explained the format initially, it was so confusing, and that's why I didn't like it. I was like, man, this is trash. But then to see it play out, like it's pretty good. I really liked it.
But like I also think like I don't know how much of it being a great game was attributed to Giannis getting smashed in the first quarter and then just being like, nah, I'm going to win this game, and then everyone else kind of just went started like really taking the game seriously.
Yeah, well, that's why I like Giannis as the captain, because that guy, even last year, he goes hundies in the All-Star game. Like he's not mucking around really. So I also think what played a big part was how the end of each quarter, 100K for charity, for their selected charity, was on the line. So it kind of gave them an incentive to play a bit harder than they would in previous years. And then they got the kids on the sideline cheering as well. You could hear it, on the broadcast. These kids cheering them on. So I think that played a big part.
Yeah, that's a good point, because it's like you've got some kid from whatever charity it is, like they need that $100,000. Like you're gonna feel like a piece of shit if you're like just coasting.
Yeah.
Well, you missed a easy bucket.
Yeah. Speaking of easy bucket, what did you guys think of James Harden passing up the game-winning layup to pass it for a corner 3?
Who would have thought James Harden will pass up a shot like that?
Because they needed 2 more points to win, and he was
in
the basket, and the man just passes it out for a corner 3.
Did they score it or not?
I think whoever caught it didn't shoot the 3.
Oh.
They like the play kept going.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think he tried to hit Chris Paul in the corner. I think they just needed a bucket.
Yeah, he needed 2 points to win.
Oh, no communication there.
That was a bit like remember that final series where LeBron had the ball and then he kicked it out. I think they lost.
Was that an All-Star game?
No, I think that was when he was at Miami Heat, and then he was copying the not clutch
Oh, okay.
narrative.
Yeah, because that actually happened to LeBron in the All-Star game when he was at the Heat. It might have been the first All-Star game or when he had joined the Miami Heat. The
Yeah.
same situation is where I think Kobe took on the defensive assignment and then he just tried to kick it out instead of trying to take the winning shot.
Yeah.
And then, Skip Bayless went to town on.
Yeah, because the media they jump quick on those narratives. So.
But you see him try and be a hero and take that three from the logo to try and win the game.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man.
It was like me and some of the boys went and played basketball the other day, and it was like first to I think it was like 15, and then whenever the game's like within 3 points of finishing, everyone's just spamming the threes. But yeah, outside of that, I didn't really care about any of the other All-Star events. The skills challenge isn't really a skills challenge.
Yo, shout out to Bam.
Yeah.
I did the Bam one. Yeah, I
only
didn't
got
watch
2
it.
trophies this weekend.
And
See,
what's that?
No, I'm saying, it's trash when you got big men winning it. Like, come on, man. You see the dribbling drill they got to do, like just around the cones. That's what you teach at like, under 10s.
Yeah, it didn't look as. Have they changed it from what it was a few years ago?
Not that I know. I think it's stayed relatively the same over the years.
Yeah.
But it's just like, I think guards are capable of so much more. They should make the dribbling part of it a little more advanced.
Yeah, the dribbling around the cones is a bit simplistic.
I remember when D-Wade won it. I was like, bro, how fast is he?
Yeah, that's when he was at the peak of Flash.
Hey, man, we didn't speak their name on this pod, man.
Oh, actually, I forgot
he's
that
in the bin. He's in the bin.
I forgot
Because
that I
of the
hated
dunk
him.
up.
Yeah. Highway robbery.
I don't know. People loved him because he's like standing up for his son, and then the next day they're hating him for the dunk comp.
But that dunk comp, that hatred's gonna last forever. Like he's tarnished his legacy. What do you guys think if Derrick Jones Jr. had got the award and then was like, yeah, thanks judges, but I think Aaron Gordon should have won and given him the award?
Nah, man, you need that cash.
Is it cash? But I feel like if he had done that, he would have gotten so much goodwill that people will remember his name. Because now everybody's just remembering him as the second guy that robbed Aaron Gordon. And that's going to be, that'll be him until he makes the All-Star game himself.
Hey, we should be playing playoffs. Aaron Gordon will be at home.
It's true.
Yeah, see? Man, give Aaron Gordon something, man.
Yeah, give him something.
I reckon if it came down to it, they should have just dunked on each other.
Nah, you know what they should have done? Is dunk horse.
Oh, yeah. Maybe next year. But you know what I miss? Remember when Dwight Howard raised the
12.
the hoop?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
These two got mega hops. I want to see them dunk on 11 feet, 12 feet.
But then it becomes who can jump the highest. Whereas it's supposed to be who's the most creative. And
Yeah, but for them, you can see when they're dunking, they're like still like they can still get up more.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of props in the dunk contest.
I don't mind props. I liked when Blake Griffin jumped over the car and the ball came through the sunroof.
You liked it?
Yeah.
Bring back the cars, product placement. Man.
Bro, tell me you're joking, bro. You
Nah.
What?
I thought it was cool.
That's what made me hate props.
Oh.
He got a 50 for that trash.
Oh, better than Dwight Howard getting a few 10s for his trash ass dunks.
Oh man, just because he had a
It's very
ball with Kobe's signature on that, eh?
Yeah, that was trash.
Yeah, and even that fraud D Wade said that's why he gave him a 10. He said he felt the pressure to give him a 10 because he gave a shout out to Kobe. Like, come on, man.
Yeah. That was trash. Anyways, before we get too far down the negative trail,
Yeah, let's bring it back up.
this weekend, the rematch, Fury versus Wilder. What's everyone thinking for the rematch? I've got Fury for the win.
Ooh.
I'm going for Fury as well. It's just too technical.
Yeah, I thought the last fight he didn't have as much notice as he had this fight, and he was coming back from a long stint off.
Yeah.
And he did pretty good. So I figure by that logic, he being a lot more prepared.
The trash talk he did after the fight was so good. He's just telling the whole world that he came out of retirement and shit. Like he was fat.
Yeah.
And he still like he didn't lose. He didn't win, but still.
He surprised me because I thought he was going to get sparked out in the first fight.
Well, he did.
He got dropped.
Yeah, he did.
He was on the floor.
If we have a stopwatch and we start recording like from the second he dropped on the floor, yeah, he was out for 10. But for me, I'm thinking the opposite. I think Wilder is gonna knock him out this time. He's gonna stop him because I think Fury like fought the best that he could ever fight against someone like Wilder. He was fighting the perfect fight until the couple of times that he got caught. I think Wilder's just gonna make the adjustments and he's gonna catch him. And this time he's gonna catch him, and this time Fury's not gonna get up. Or if he does get up somehow again, then Wilder will finish him off.
But that was what was crazy about the first fight, is that when Fury got up, he ended up winning the rest of like the match. So that's kind of like gives me hope that
it shows his heart.
Yeah, like he's able to stay cool under pressure.
Yeah, and I think that's what makes the fight so interesting, is because Fury is such a good boxer, but then Wilder has the kind of power, like one punch KO power, that we haven't seen in many fighters in the entire history of boxing.
I don't think it's that great, but
I reckon.
Oh man, like I think his one punch power, it's like we haven't seen many fighters with that sort of power spark him out, and I think that's the knock on Wilder is in his couple of fights with Ortiz, he was getting outboxed there as well.
Yeah,
but
that's
all it just took was just one shot in the second fight. All it took, he was losing every single round. Just took that one shot, and that was it. It was over.
Because it didn't even look that hard when I was watching it, but then I had that camera angle to the side, and it looked like he punched him, and Ortiz didn't move, but like Ortiz made out of sweat. Like his soul got punched out.
He punched him dry. You don't rate his power, Peace?
Nah. Like if you got too much power, you should have all the time. Like you should have the timing as well.
Yeah.
Like you know what you can do.
Yeah.
And he's long. The other guy's long as well. 6'9" versus 6'7".
Yeah.
We should know when to throw it. A lot of the fights he's just throwing it, and then when it hits, then he's celebrating like cool.
Yeah.
But like if you got that power, you should know when.
But that's more a knock on his boxing, and like he's not that great a technical boxer.
Because if he's strong, he should punch through the guard.
Yeah.
Fury done well last time.
Yeah, no, Fury did good. I think Fury was surprisingly light, and he danced around them a lot.
But he put on weight for this fight, right?
Oh, was he bigger than he was the last fight?
He's trying to get power as well. He wants to knock him out to kill the knockout myth or whatever, the power myth or whatever.
Oh, damn. Okay, I wish I knew that before I put my multi on.
Yeah.
Once some guy changes up, that could be the whole thing out.
I like the strategy from the first fight. I thought he should have just stuck to that.
I think so as well. But looks like he wants to prove a point and sit down on his punches. I don't think it's gonna go well for him, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
It's just exciting to see the heavyweight division as stacked as it is now. There's a lot of excitement in the heavyweight division, which hasn't been the case for a long, long time. Probably since Lennox Lewis and David Tua and aging past his prime Mike Tyson.
And I think a lot of that, I would credit to these two fighters fighting on the weekend, Fury and Wilder, because Fury pretty exciting and in and out of the ring, and Wilder, with his one punch KOs, has really brought it back to life from where the Klitschko brothers were just.
They were dominating the Like no one wanted to fight them, but if you want the championship, that's what you had to do.
Nobody wanted to watch them either.
Yeah, they were too dominant for their for the divisions and good.
Dominant and boring for people like me.
I still feel ripped off that last Joshua and Ruiz fight. Ruiz just
I'm angry at Ruiz.
All he did was just, I'm getting paid this many millions.
Yeah.
Let's eat whatever I want.
Yeah, he cashed
Didn't even show up.
Hey man, I just can't wait for the winner of Wilder and Fury to, they're just they're just fighting for whoever's gonna get knocked out by my boy AJ.
No way. AJ's a pretender.
Oh man.
For Olympic gold medal, no technique.
Yeah. The only person who beat was a 60-year-old Klitschko.
Hey, who else has done that? Who else has done that to him? You tell me.
Right. Joseph Parker could beat Klitschko at 60 years old.
Joseph Parker couldn't even beat Anthony Joshua himself.
He's trash too.
Hey, that was some dodgy refereeing. You saw what happened in the Ruiz fight when they let the first Ruiz fight when they let them clinch.
Man, I don't know what you're talking about.
They didn't let Parker touch Joshua. Every time they clinched, the ref came in and separated it straight away.
Anthony Joshua doesn't pick the judges or the referee, man. He just he just makes do with the hand that he's dealt. Yeah.
Whatever.
As long as boxing doesn't end up like UFC, we're good.
I don't mind the UFC. Everything except the pay scale.
But their judging was a bit off. I can't even remember the fight now.
Oh, the one that Joe Rogan called him out on. I think it was 2 weeks ago. He was like, I'm watching the ref, and he's looking at his phone.
Oh yeah, the John Jones fight. The judge gave 4 rounds to John Jones.
Yeah, that was trash. But back to the boxing. Was it last week what's his name? Is it Ryan Garcia?
Yeah.
His second flash KO.
What is he, cruiserweight or something?
I don't actually know what weight he is. All I know is that he's money.
He's the next big thing, yeah?
Yeah, I'm not too sure.
He's on the path to it.
Yeah, but he's Oscar De La Hoya's golden child. He's good friends with Canelo as well.
Oh, is he?
He trains with Canelo. So, he's destined for greatness.
And that lead left hook. Oh, man.
Man, he's quick, eh?
That's quick.
Got some fast hands. But he was famous before, Golden Boy snapped him up and started feeding him bombs.
Yeah.
It was just like his training videos. He became Insta famous before. He was known to the boxing world. It was just him just doing his thing in training. It's pretty cool to watch.
Yeah, it's pretty good seeing him on the big stage, living up to the hype, because it's not often that you see these sensations live up to the hype.
Mm. I just hope they bring them along slowly. They don't try and put him into a world title fight too soon. They just bring him on slowly. He's still really young, so there's no rush for him to start fighting, top 10 fighters.
Sweet. We'll move into our multis for this week. What do you got for us, Nate?
So I was 3 out of 5 last week. The ones that I hit, I bet on the Highlanders to win. Oh, I can't remember now. But the only ones that I didn't hit on was the cricket, which both of us missed out on. Yeah, the T20. England was supposed to win and they lost, and then I can't remember. But
that's fine.
What do you got? It's in the past because now I'm just bringing it up now. Okay, cool. So I got a 5-leg multi. The first leg, Brett Morris, my boy B-Moz, in the World Club Challenge, anytime try scorer. So they're versing St. Helens. They're gonna flog him, and he's gonna get a meat pie somewhere along the way. And second leg is I got my Mongol also, Dan Hooker. He's gonna knock out Paul Fowler. It's not gonna go to 5 rounds. He's gonna knock him out and then continue on his path to a title shot. Okay. Third leg, I've got Deontay Wilder by TKO. So specifically TKO. So the ref's gonna wave it off. He's gonna say, "Hey, now." No more punishment. No more punishment. That's enough. Okay. Fourth leg is Minnesota Timberwolves versus the mighty Boston Celtics. I've got Kemba Walker scored 25 plus, and Celtics also get the win. And the last leg is the Bulls versus the mighty Blues. I've got the Blues winning 12 and under. So that, if you just invest just $5, just $5 of your money, you're going to get a return of $1,009.80.
What? Ooh, damn.
Man, we turning water into wine over here, man.
Your shop.
You better.
Yeah, for sure, man. Fly you guys to New Zealand.
Sweet. I'm in for that.
How'd you feel that?
All right, Pierce, what do you got?
I got a 6-leg this week. And it's all the Super Rugby, so I couldn't be bothered doing other research. But Crusaders, 15.5 against the Highlanders. Hopefully they go well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've got that one as well.
The next one is Sharks, 13 plus against the Rebels. Rebels look trash. I don't like the Lucies. They're going to get killed.
Yeah, I don't like the Rebels either.
Next one, Chiefs and Brumbies. Chiefs, 13 plus.
Yeah.
Chiefs are on. They might be the New Zealand team here.
Yeah, they're on top at the moment.
Yeah. They'll have the guns back as well, eh?
Yeah, Cruden's back.
Oh, yeah.
Next game, Reds, 13 plus against the Sunwolves.
Yeah.
And what's the next one? Jaguars and Stormers. I got Jaguares within 7.5. I don't know if they win, but I don't want them to lose by that much.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
In the last game, Blues 1-12 as well. So altogether, with the booster, that comes to 397.90.
Not bad. All right, we'll go with my one then. I've got the Brooklyn Nets are playing the 76ers, and I've got Ben Simmons to score over 18.5 points. He's averaging something around 20, so hopefully he carries that good form.
Mm-hmm.
Then I've got the Crusaders minus 15.5. So basically, I'm betting on Crusaders to win by 16 points or more. I've got the Sharks minus 5.5. I think they're coming to Melbourne and they're going to smash us. It's going to be Sharknado here in Melbourne. I've got the Reds, who had a fantastic first half last week, and then just shat the bed in the second half. But I've got them to, because they're back home now, so they should be well rested. Go to their favorite restaurants this week. They'll smash the Sunwolves minus 15.5, so I'm betting them to win by 16 points or more as well. Then I've got the Blues with the upset minus 1.5 against the Bulls. So I'm betting to win by 2 points or more. And then finally, like I mentioned earlier on the pod, I've got Tyson Fury winning the fight somehow against Deontay Wilder. Those 7 legs with $5 backing them, that's going to mean you'll be taking home $263.23 and some room to put on more multis for the next week.
Nice, bro.
Nice.
All right, everybody, that's it. That's this week's pod. Any last comments, Nathan?
No, let's go the Blues. Let's get back in the one column.
What do you got for us, Pierce?
Playing? We're playing Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday morning.
I'll be watching that. I'll be watching it before I go work. Go the Blues, eh?
Yeah, that'll be good. I might stay up for that one as well. And last thing from me, next week I'll be giving out some more NRL fantasy draft tips before our draft on Sunday.
Oh my god!
So I'll save my winnings from this multi for next week, and then next week when I get my another multi win, so 2 wins in a row, then we'll have the draft on Sunday and go out for drinks on me.